Netflix is canceling all of your favorite shows. Let's make sense of that.
Take that.
All right, what's up, guys? We're back with another episode of Nerds Make Sense. I'm Manuel.
I'm Ted.
I'm Josh.
So today we're going to talk about a topic that's actually been talked about for a while, but I think now is the first time that we've gotten like an official statement from Netflix. So the topic is that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are aware because there's so many Netflix originals now. There's like I want to say we're getting into the hundreds of Netflix originals. That shows that even are popular are getting cut short and canceled before they get
Netflix originals are like the Hydra. You cut one head off, three more grow back.
Exactly. And so they're getting cut short. They're getting canceled after a season or two. Some are, like I said, incredibly popular and have a lot of fans, watching them. And there's been a lot of backlash from a lot of people who are saying they're upset that their show got cut. I know Ted had one that he loved that ended up getting picked up by another. It was another streaming site, or was it like a TV channel?
I think it's a streaming site. Yeah, it's Pop TV.
Yeah, Pop TV. I don't know exactly what that is yet.
I've heard of it.
I subscribe to it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I get to watch that show. So basically, I just wanted to talk about what are the repercussions of that? What are what that means for TV in general? What that will mean if we continue to enjoy just the Netflix originals that they keep giving us, because there are a lot of good ones. There's a lot of trash on there, but there's a lot of good ones too. And so I wanted to say, I know this is probably a really controversial statement after I brought this up, because I thought that it's actually a good thing for shows to get cut, because not necessarily this way, but it is. I think it's better for a show to be cut short than it is to go on way too long.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that point. Sometimes it is better to cut something off than to let something overstay its welcome. Like one of the shows that I watched that. Basically, I've watched the last 5 seasons, so it's like now I'm kind of committed to watching this final season. But it's Elementary. I don't know. It's the more modern day version of Sherlock Holmes in New York City.
The better one.
I never actually watched Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Don't.
So I don't know. I can't say for my personal opinion, but. What I can't say about Elementary is the first 3 seasons were great. Mm-hmm. They probably should have ended it after the 4th season. Mm-hmm. But yet they've kind of let it. They didn't wrap up all the strings the way they should have. So it's kind of lingered. And it's yes, this is now finally the last season they're doing. I think it might actually be season 7 or something that they're on. But it's it should have ended 3 or 4 seasons ago.
Yeah, and you see that happen a lot with a lot of shows, not necessarily just Netflix shows, but just shows in general. When you get past a certain point, sometimes they lose the original writer or producer or director or whatever creative force was behind it, and so the energy of the show is gone, and so you're left with the face of that show, but then not any of the actual content that you enjoyed. There's always something that happens where something, say maybe an actor leaves. I know with for me, one of the the shows I watched for a long time, where the whole tone of the show just changes when people leave, is Criminal Minds. The first 2 seasons of Criminal Minds are incredible.
Yeah.
Because of Agent Gideon, who is I forget his name, but he's from what's that old movie? I can't remember, with Andre the Giant in it.
Oh, you mean
is it Princess
Bride?
Princess
Bride.
Yeah, Princess Bride. So he's in that one. That guy, I forget his name. He's Agent Gideon, but he's also Inigo Montoya in there.
Oh, okay.
He's incredible. He's an incredible actor. He's got so much character to him, and he left for a pretty good reason.
Prepare to die.
Yeah, he left for a pretty good reason. But I mean, that's just another that's just an example of how shows can like change and decrease in quality based on stuff that happens. But like I said, I don't necessarily believe that they need to be cut short this way. If continuing, if people go into and they make an agreement with Netflix, if they know that their show's about to end in 2 seasons, like if we can get that like confirmed before they start, I think it would do better for creativity wise. So they know they're like, okay, so first season set up, second season I need to wrap up. So we get a clear, concise story that's wrapped and ended and concluded in a nice, like just feel good way.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would kind of depend on the content of the show, though.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it, because I mean, if it's meant to be a longer story, then obviously, I think what you need to do is, like, and I know bigger networks do this. They pay more attention to how the fans are reacting, who's watching, how many people are watching. And I think they need to pay closer attention to that. And instead of trying to, come in with a automatic, we want this thing to span 10 seasons, 20 episodes apiece.
Yeah.
And we're going to fill in the content as we go. No, I think what you need to do is you need to have a planned story that can wrap up within 2 or 3, like you said, wrap up within 2 or 3 seasons in case it doesn't go over well.
Yeah.
But it's like, for the problem I have with Netflix just cutting off popular shows like that is most seasons most shows are barely finding their legs on where they're going in the second season. Yeah. Especially when you cut it down to like 10 to 13 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And it also goes like, especially since there's like no pilot episode, because usually how it goes is you make a pilot episode, they show it to people and see if they like it. But with the Netflix thing, I'm pretty sure you just film everything. You pitch the idea, like,
it's
to the
all
guy,
released at once,
and then they start. They're like, okay, cool, film it, and then they put it out.
Yeah.
But you could tell which one is a pilot episode, but they won't. They're tested off like the first season, and then that whole thing is like experimental. And then, like Josh said, second season is where they picked up, like they pick up, like
Yeah. And I think that for shows that are like sci-fi or like fantasy-esque, or maybe even like dramas, all that stuff can wrap up in like a season or 2, I think. But like the show that Ted was watching, what was it called? One Day at a Time.
1 Day at a Time.
That was more of like a sitcom, like a family sitcom. That stuff is supposed to be like really long form,
it's a remake.
You're supposed to see the characters develop over years. Look at Full House. Look at Family Matters. Look at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We had each of those for at least 5-6 seasons apiece.
Yep.
We literally
Malcolm in the Middle.
We literally saw the characters grow up, though.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
We saw them age, go through different problems. I still think one of the best damn sitcom episodes ever was the episode of Fresh Prince Bel-Air when Will's father comes back and the end, little dramatic part between him, his father, and Uncle Phil. Yeah. That is one of the best damn scenes.
I was just watching that too.
In cinematic history. Because you really, Will Smith, he did such an excellent job with that. He delivered his lines so well. But if you cut off that show after season 2, we never get that. We don't get to see that development.
And especially like big stuff like that, like is like shows take a long time to bring that stuff up. Like you'll mention in like the first few seasons, like, oh well, he didn't know his dad or whatever. That's just part of his character or whatever. And then you never get to explore that until way later because you've already, because you need to like establish them as a person before you can make them like meet something like this, and then you'll see how, like, you'll see the way this affects them. You know what I mean? Because you're so familiar with them. Yeah. So it's like you are with people. Like if you know somebody for a long time, you know when somebody's like being affected by an outward like stimulus of some kind.
Yeah, and going back to that scene is just it doesn't matter how many times I see it, and I can just see that scene out of context of the entire episode. When he says the words, "Why don't he love me, man?" I start fucking I'm crying right now. It is so emotional.
It fucks me up too because it's right before that. Like right before that is where he he screams to hell with him.
Yeah.
You know, and then it goes quiet. Like, and I know he's about to say it, and that's where it gets me usually.
Yeah, and I think it gets me too because I've experienced similar emotion to that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been that person that has asked, you know, why doesn't a parrot want to be there for me?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been there as well. And there was another scene that Fresh Prince did really well, like especially comparative to like other sitcoms of the time, where it had to do with like Carlton ended up being in the hospital, and he tries to get a gun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever.
And they got robbed at the ATM machine.
Yeah, and that one, Will ends up in the hospital and Carlton gets a gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Will that got.
And then he like Will like goes off on Carlton because Carlton has a gun on him or whatever, and he like that was really powerful as well. You know, it was really, and like you said, we wouldn't have got that if the show only lasted a few seasons.
Yeah. Of course, there's always the 2 other episodes that are probably the best are the one where Will walks away from the fraternity because they won't accept Carlton because he's not black enough.
Yeah.
Or the episode where they get pulled over by the hit cops.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
For driving the
That
fancy
one was
car.
good.
That was beautiful by Uncle Phil. James Avery, we miss you.
Yeah.
Every day.
So most of the problem I have with this issue is Netflix's stated business model for this, because the reasons behind it aren't of course not in a creative fashion. They don't care about cutting off something because it needs to end or whatever. So the model, what they specifically said is that creating a new show brings in new subscribers, but keeping that show in production doesn't necessarily keep the subscribers that they brought. So they're more worried about bringing in subscribers with a new show, with a new like flashy, idea. But these shows, even if they are like well liked, don't do well enough in their eyes to maintain those subscribers.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, understandable, but it's gonna end up being everything's gonna end up being really mediocre because we don't get, because even if we adapt to this model, everything's gonna end up little samesies. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be real short things, and then it's not gonna feel like we have multiple series. It's just gonna feel like we're getting episodes of a show that is just like, oh, what if this was happening, or what if that, and like we already have a show like that. Like we have Black Mirror, we have like Twilight Zone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So nothing's gonna feel like full whole stories. Well, I mean, they are gonna be full whole stories, but they're not gonna feel like substantial anymore. They're gonna feel like really really short segments of something that could be more.
And then how is it that they cancel a second season when they leave on a cliffhanger or something? They just cancel it,
like I said, they don't care creatively. That doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, because I know they try to one day at a time when it was canceled. Because I know I was following for a while because when I seen it, they weren't sure they were gonna get a second season.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was that deadline where where they renew shows, like Fuller House just got renewed, and like One Day at a Time wasn't renewed yet, and it was like the very last day, I think.
Yeah.
They got renewed for a second season, and then the third season was the same way. Like they barely made the cut, and then not even before, shortly after the third season came out, they said that they're not getting renewed, and it's so crazy because that one had like a huge following. Because like Twitter, it was trending on Twitter for the longest. News people were talking about it. I follow the whole cast on Instagram and Twitter. They were going on about it. They had the little hashtags and they were like everyone. And then they went to the girl, the daughter who plays the daughter in that one. She went to like a convention and like all of it was like fan art for One Day at a Time. Not any other show she did.
And wasn't that was like one of the only English speaking sitcoms based on a Hispanic family. I know you said they I'm sure they spoke Spanish in the show. I haven't seen the show yet.
That's what I loved about it too, because like I tell my parents, I'm Mexican American, so I don't speak Spanish, and I've never really been into the culture. You know what I mean? Like I haven't gone out and tried to learn Spanish. Only if I want to speak.
We're like because I'm the same way as well. We are like secondary Mexican.
Yeah, I don't go to the parades. I mean, not like I don't like them, but it's just not who I am. But when I watch this show, like I know they're Cuban, and that's different from from what I am.
Yeah.
But it's just that seeing what they go through, like they talk about all sorts of stuff, like about being like a Mexican family or in the Cuban family in like America, and how they get called like the racial stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing how they live, being super religious and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, that happens in my family, and it made me connected to roots that I never thought I wanted.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy, like when I was telling people about the show, like even the kids at work watch it and they talk to me about it, and then they just cancel it, and I was like, how can they cancel it after they have this huge following for it?
Yeah.
Yep. It's like I said. So it's not that people aren't watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's that the people who came to Netflix to watch the show aren't sticking around long enough, aren't shelling out enough money for it to make money that way. So most of the people who are probably watching it are probably people who already have Netflix, are not planning to cancel their Netflix at any point in time because maybe it's their main source of media in any way, and so maybe they love it and they watch it, but that's not what Netflix cares about. They don't care about the people they already have. They want to bring in
more.
as many as they can, and they care about the people they don't have already.
And here's the thing, though, and I'm hearing this, and it's like, I have Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a ton of different things on there. Not only am I watching the great show Stranger Things right now,
Yeah.
but I'm also rewatching one of my favorite shows that was on ABC and ended a couple years ago.
Glee.
That was on Fox.
Yeah,
Actually, I need to go back and rewatch that one.
I watched
Oh,
it
God.
4 times. I can't do it no
Oh,
more.
my
I'm
God.
done.
I never finished the whole thing, but no, I'm rewatching Once Upon a Time because I never saw the last 2 seasons.
And then,
So I restarted it.
and then
Yeah.
with them trying to say they want more people, how are they going to do that? And then they raise the prices. They raise the price for it. And then on top
Exactly.
of that, most of their stuff that a lot of people came here for, which was like the Marvel stuff, is going away on to Disney Plus. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So how
going
are
to
they
be disappearing in a few
So
months.
how are they going to raise the price and then
They're
lose
really
the
gonna lose
majority
people
of people? Because like what Into the Spider-Verse is on there.
Yeah.
Some of the old Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire, I think Spider-Man 3 was only one or 2.
It was 2 and 3. I
Oh.
don't think they had the first one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, 3
And
is the only one
They
on
have
there
the
right
Guardians
now.
of the Galaxy. They have Thor Ragnarok. They have Iron Man 2. They have all that, and I mean, they're out on DVD. You could buy it, but like,
Yeah.
it's so cool because it's packaged with this thing, but then they're taking it, and that's because like
It's so this is another topic too that I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't really flesh out. So I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about it. So something that people are pointing out with the rise of just streaming services in general,
Yeah.
because it used to just be Netflix.
There's
Yeah,
two
I think
more,
you
too.
mentioned it on a previous episode.
Yeah.
It's everything's separating again.
Yeah, and
To
so
their own separate things. Like so, back when TV was getting really really big in the 80s and the 90s, you got all these different channels that started popping up,
Yeah.
and they started taking shows and creating their own stuff. So like on one channel you'd have Family Matters, but on the other channel you'd have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that.
Yeah.
And then with Disney Plus as well, like people are learning that too, because 2 shows that are leaving Netflix right now are The Office and Friends, and they're going to their own streaming services on HBO, which Friends is going, and then The Office is going to whatever The Office was at. I don't know.
NBC.
Yeah,
And then
NBC.
NBC Now or something like that. Their
Yeah.
streaming service that's coming out soon, so
Yeah.
they're losing that as well.
And so people are a bunch of people already are doing it. They already are going back to piracy, which is what people did because
I ain't going front, yeah.
yeah, because owning videos and DVDs gets cluttered. It gets too hard to keep track of, and you got to keep them in perfect condition. Digitally, however,
Yeah.
it's always going to play. It doesn't take room to store. Like you have
As
to have
long as that said streaming service exists, at least.
yeah, and then but when you pirate stuff and you don't have it doesn't have any DRM copyright stuff on it, so you can
Right.
play it on anything that can support that file system. So you're like, oh, I want to watch it on my PS4. You can watch it on your PS4. Some Blu-ray players just play straight up like movie files on them, and it's just way more convenient to like have these and own them than it is to now pay for Netflix and Hulu
And that too, and you don't even really, a lot of that stuff you don't even need anymore either, because with the ease of which you can hook a PC tower, or even just like hooking up a laptop with an HDMI cord to your television nowadays.
Exactly.
You don't need a PlayStation to play it. You don't need a fucking Blu-ray player.
Most people have smart TVs now, and smart TVs
Exactly.
on smart TVs you can still pirate stuff really easily.
Even at our work, dude. Like, how many smart TVs do we see?
Exactly. We worked at a school that had smart TVs, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's really they're kind of damning themselves, like Netflix is. They all are, just because they're coming up with a really greedy business model where they're trying to grab as many subscribers as they can. They don't care about
and they're just going to keep raising the prices to be competitive with one another.
And so they don't care about loyalty of the subscribers, because if they already have been somewhere so long, it's unlikely that they'll stop. Yeah. It'll take so much. Like a $5 price increase is not that much. But if they like hiked it up like to like $40 all of a sudden, that would drop people. But if over the years they're like, oh well, it's 15 now. No, it's 17.
The point I was trying to get
20.
to a little bit ago, though, is the fact that it's an unsustainable business model.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's all going to collapse at some point, and there's going to be once again there'll be like one or two services that rise to the top,
exactly,
that take over everything else.
Yep.
So like eventually you're probably going to see Disney, buying out Netflix or something like that, and transferring everything that Netflix owns over to their streaming service. Eventually, something like that is just going to happen. Because
I mean, look at, because this is mirroring cable TV so almost exactly.
And now look who owns almost all of the channels.
Yeah,
Disney.
Yeah, so it's exactly what happened there, where you would have to pay extra for the other stuff that maybe interested you more.
Our imperial mouse overlords.
Yeah, and so it's getting to that too, where some services are like catering to like niche interests. Like you have like Verve, and it's like, oh, well, this is all your nerdy cartoons and anime and stuff, and Funimation has their own, because of course they do anime and just Japanese things in general.
Right.
And there's like even horror based ones, or like, oh, this is scary
but
pics
even
or whatever.
that's going to be unsustainable at some point.
It's going to,
just because they're going to get swallowed up by the bigger companies.
And there's going to be too much competition. People aren't going to want to pay this because they're going to start rivaling what cable prices are. Because cable, I remember I haven't had cable in a while, but when we had cable, it was like $200 a month, and we didn't even watch anything on there because cable TV and regular TV is like, in this age now, it's really inconvenient because you don't have like on demand with everything. You're like, oh, I want to watch this show. Oh, but I'm gonna be at school when that show's on. So you had to get the DVR. That was like an extra $50.
Yeah.
Or if you want it on demand, you're like, oh, that's another extra $50 for you to watch the show whenever you want. And and it's like, well, so when Netflix came along, it's like, here's my shows. Watch it at your leisure.
Yeah.
And that's just the baseline. It's like, that's so incredibly convenient for me.
Yeah.
And it had like shows and movies and all this other stuff, and it was updating its library constantly.
I honestly think that the whole, filming all of the episodes at one time and then releasing them all at once and letting the viewer watch them at their own leisure is a great thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you kind of regret afterwards watching them all in one day, like somebody else we know.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yep.
But it's still, you still enjoy having that ability to do that if you want to. Like say for instance, you're trying, your friends have been watching the show for years, and then you're trying to catch up. You have that ability to watch it over the course of like 2 to 3 days, and catch up with them and know what they're talking about. Whereas before, you either got lucky with recording it on a VHS if you're that old.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Or you were lucky if your parents didn't delete your DVR recording for that week.
They're like, oh, why is he watching this show? It's
old
and it's stupid. I don't like it. I need to watch more.
So it is. So having the shows on demand in a service like Netflix is a great business option. But sitting there and canceling them when they're at their peak, or just figuring out where they're going, they're starting to get that big following, that is not going to be something that's going to be sustainable. And that's going to be, if Netflix keeps that up, because look at what happened with these other shows that got canceled. What was it, the one with Tim Allen that was on Fox. Or,
Oh, I know that one.
That ended up.
I know why that one got canceled. But still.
Right, but what I'm saying, it got picked up by another network.
Yeah.
And so now they're getting all those views.
Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing. I think it went from ABC to Fox.
Yeah. Because it was more of like a conservative.
But like with
show.
with Ted's show, one day at a time, Netflix cuts that, another network or another streaming service picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're getting all those views.
Yeah. So the thing is though that Netflix is, I'm pretty sure, aware that even if they cancel this one show and then it ends up on another service,
but eventually,
what else?
Eventually,
yes, but that's too far in the future for them to care, and it's really stupid that they're doing it.
Yeah, they're not.
But for right now, the way they see it is that what else is on Pop TV, Ted? My bad. What else is on Pop TV? Do you know?
Yeah, I got the app right here.
No, without looking. What else is on Pop TV that you want to watch?
It's a bunch of what I want to watch? No, nothing.
Exactly. There you go.
Right
He's
now.
only there for that one show.
Yeah.
And so they know that. They're like, oh, well, yeah, go fucking get your show. Go pay them the $5 to go watch that one show we don't have anymore. And then you're going to come crawling right back to us when you watch Stranger Things or something,
Yeah.
And
And I understand that, but like at some point they're going to sit there and they're going to cut too many shows that people enjoy, that they're going to start bleeding subscribers.
Yeah, they're going to alienate their audience.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's gonna, you can sit there and you can pay $25 to Netflix and watch all your shows, or you can watch whatever shows they happen to have at that time, or you can sit there and go pay $5 to each of these little ones.
Yep.
That equal up to the $25 and watch the shows you want to watch. So eventually that the business model that they are working with right now is going to backfire on them big time.
Yep.
And it's like you said, it's stupid that they're not paying attention to that now.
That's just how a lot of corporations are. Like the executives are always like they only think in the short term. They only go like a year or two ahead. They don't think like long term. They're like, oh well, that's a problem for when we get there. And if this isn't working, we'll just cut it like entirely. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just shut off Netflix at some point because of what they've done.
Yeah.
And then
I can understand like if a show is just if it maybe did mediocre in its first season, and then after the second season it like dropped off big time.
Yep.
I can understand cutting it then, even if even if it's a quality show where you have like 10 or 20 diehard fans that really love it. I can understand that because at that point you're going to be bleeding money because nobody's watching your show.
Yep.
But when you sit there and you're getting the viewership, because you can't tell me these people don't know the amount of viewers that they're getting for every episode of every show or movie they have on there.
Yeah, they absolutely know. They have the data they collect.
So why wouldn't you want to make more money off of that? If it's something that is actively making you money. Yes, I understand you want to bring in new people. Yep. You want to bring in more subscribers. That's fine. Go make more shows that appease those people. Bring in. They keep making the money from the shows that are already making you money, so you can fund those new shows.
Or not even make new shows. Like if they want more money, there's other ways they can do it as well. Because like I said on that one video I did about Disney Plus, with Disney Plus with all the Disney movies and stuff, I could see Disney saying, "Hey, if you're a teacher or something, or your school wants to be, you could pay for this, and every room can have the streaming service Disney Plus. And then when there's a rainy day or a movie day, you don't have to go to Redbox, you don't have to go to Netflix. You could watch ours discounted because you're a school or a business because that's
a lot of services do, like Spotify does that for students.
Yeah.
They have a student discount.
And that's a good plan.
Yeah, it honestly is, especially for like. I don't know.
Because that will get people coming more.
Exactly.
If businesses said, "Oh, Disney Plus," or Disney Plus, Netflix says that, "Oh, if I need a waiting room, Netflix would be like, oh,
doctors' offices,
doctors' offices, dentists,
hospital. Bro, if I could watch Stranger Things at the hospital,
yeah, that'd be freaking crazy.
Bro, I'd be visiting everybody there.
Yeah, dude, like it's just like because that's what I said in Disney Plus. I was like, dude, I could easily see this being classrooms, like easily. Yeah.
Especially because of the content rating of most Disney stuff.
Yeah,
is younger.
It's classroom appropriate.
And then they have Marvel movies, and even then, like we watch.
Yeah, and that is I mean, it sucks. Yes, that they're pulling them from Netflix, and so we can't watch them for a while. But it was a good idea on Disney's part to sit there and say, hey, you're going to be able to watch all of these on our stuff. So for, you want to pay the price, probably going to be like, what, $15?
Probably.
To start with, at least. Come pay the $15 here and you can watch all of the Marvel movies.
15, it's like $8, isn't it?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's even better.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Plus you can watch Disney classics you remember from a kid. When you were a kid, you can come watch the old Kim Possible show, not the new crappy one.
Bro, there's a new Kim Possible?
Yeah, we don't
The
talk about
live
that.
action one?
Anyways, we don't talk about that. Yet.
What?
Yeah. It
Anyway.
didn't.
Anyway, yeah. So, bro, that just blew my mind. I'm trying to bring it back in.
Hey, but you love the new live action Aladdin? Well, come watch it here.
Yeah,
You can't watch it anywhere else unless you buy it.
because it is smart because they already own so much of the movie industry right now with Marvel and now with their live action remakes. So of course everything that people are gonna want to watch again, or you even watch for the first time because they didn't want to go to theaters or they were too broke to go to theaters like me.
And that's the thing too. With Disney's streaming service, like the minute a Marvel movie or one of their new live action movies goes out of the theater, boom, they put it in their streaming service and they've got people.
Because they don't have to worry about like crossing somebody's toes because it's all their stuff. It is their stuff that they own already. They don't have to worry about stepping on their own toes when it comes to like releases and stuff.
Think about it when they were doing that, when they had the deal with Netflix. And immediately as soon as the latest Marvel movie went into their video library, imagine how many new subscribers they got just from that alone.
Yeah, dude. And when Disney Plus comes out,
Disney knows what they're doing.
The two Marvel movies that are coming out first on there are freaking Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Yep.
So it's like, dude, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. The DVD's coming out in.
I rented Captain Marvel on Amazon Prime, but that was because I hadn't seen it yet, and it was $5 to watch it. So
yeah, it's like I don't know I don't know why they over here canceling shows like that.
It's just greed. They're greedy.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna bite them in the ass eventually.
It will. Yeah, eventually it will. Because you got places like Amazon Prime that obviously you can either watch their selection there, or you can buy their movie. You can buy a movie if you can't find it, or you don't want to pay the $15 a month.
Mm-hmm. It's not like
or $8 a month or whatever.
I know they have some hit and misses, but it's not like Netflix is doing anything bad to it. They're like, oh, we need more people because we don't have enough. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure.
No, especially with their price raising recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know
they're gonna raise it again too.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, within the next year, it'll be up to $20 a month.
Yeah. That's already crazy.
And I was like, if it gets to that point and there's not a whole lot, if I've watched what I needed to watch and I have something elsewhere that I can watch. Because here's the thing. One of there's really, and you guys probably don't care about this, but there's essentially one television show that I will watch over and over and over and over. Like the minute I finish the last episode of the final season, I'll start up with the first episode of the first season all over again.
What is it?
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what? All three major streaming services have it right now. Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime, and it's all available for free.
Yep.
So if I have to cut one, I don't have to worry about losing my favorite show.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is too that's about to lose me with Netflix is that it doesn't connect to like an actual video library. Like Ted gives me all the digital codes for all the movies he buys. Yeah. And so they connect to my Movies Anywhere account, which connects to Amazon, Google Play, whatever. So Amazon has all those movies that I own now.
I recently lost a whole bunch of my digital movies.
That's crazy.
Because of the Ultraviolet going under.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So having access and like the ability to own movies as well through the service is good. Netflix doesn't let you do that yet because there are movies that I will always want to watch. Movies and shows like Signs, the movie Signs. I watch that movie all the freaking time. I have it on DVD. I can't watch it on DVD anymore because I watched it too many times on DVD, and now the DVD won't work.
Somebody needs to buy you a Blu-ray.
Yeah, now I need the Blu-ray one.
4K Ultra HD.
Yeah, I need to hear him scream after he cuts those aliens' fingers off in high def surround sound. And then there's like shows like
4,000 pixels.
Yeah. So and then there's shows that I can watch like over and over that I definitely want to own that I don't have to worry about like their agreement ending and leaving the streaming service or whatever. So I like that as well, and I hope Netflix adopts something like that. But then I think maybe that'll lose them money in some way.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not sure.
I mean, you know, even with the advancement and the addition of 4K Ultra HD discs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you are right about the disc going the way of the dinosaur, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, even the game systems are starting to do it. Like Xbox actually, or Microsoft released an Xbox that has no disc slot for it. It's completely digital.
Yeah, because I mean, it's too much work to produce a disc with the thing on it, especially compared to being able to just download it.
Yeah,
Because
and it's- I mean,
as soon as you make the movie and it's all done, it's there.
Yeah.
You could just go download it from whatever streaming service you want.
and it's so easy to build a box with a bigger hard drive nowadays because hard drives are so inexpensive to make.
Well, you could just buy a new one that's even bigger than your last one.
Yeah, or you
Exactly.
can buy additional memory. You know,
Yeah.
plugs into what you have. You know,
Exactly.
it's,
It's super easy.
I mean, you know, right now I think what's the biggest civilian thing that you can actually buy? I think it's like I think the biggest external hard drive you can buy is like 8 terabytes.
I think so. Yeah.
But I mean, as soon I guarantee you, with the introduction of the new game consoles that'll be coming out next year,
Yeah.
you know, very quickly we're going to get in the not only the double digit of terabytes, but we're going to start looking at petabytes.
Isn't it?
And
is
that's
that the next one?
insane.
Petabytes.
Yeah, it would be after terabytes.
What's that? What's that for petabytes?
1,000 terabytes. That is 1,000. Can you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, so I know it's gonna like freak you out, but like if you go back like 10, 20 years and people are dealing in megabytes still.
yeah,
For
exactly.
like files, and
I
they're
mean,
like, I can't imagine
Like-
needing more than this.
exactly. I mean, you literally you had like 10 games on your PC, and now it's like that doesn't even take a sliver
I can
of
have
your memory of your PC nowadays.
So I have a jailbroken PS4, or not PS4, PSP. It has the entire game library for the Game Boy Color, the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and I still have a majority of the space for that memory card. It took up like a gigabyte or two for all of that.
Yeah.
A whole console's game library fits in that much. That's incredible.
Yeah, if you bought every game that was made for the PS3, you could fit it in less than probably 20 gigs on a PS4.
I don't know.
All of the
PS3,
all of
I
the
don't know.
combined save files, you could probably
Save
it-
files?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, save files are fucking nothing anymore. I remember when I had to
And
like
it's
I
getting
did,
to the
I
point
did,
to where everything's cloud saved anyways.
yeah, I remember getting to the point in like PS2 where I had to like delete some blocks from like a save, like a really old
Oh,
save.
God, yeah,
So
I
I needed to
remember
play
having to
so I
do
needed to
that.
play like Ratchet and Clank or something, but
Exactly.
I was like, but I need to play this new game. I'm not probably
Yeah.
not gonna play that old game, but everything I have is there.
It was either delete something important off of your memory card or go buy a new memory card.
Yeah.
And most of the time, buying a new memory card was out of the question.
Yep.
So it was like, yeah,
So-
later when I get a new memory card, I can resave that, play the whole game over again.
Yeah. We're far.
Yeah, we're way
far
off on a tangent
so
here.
I'll say let's end this here, and like a question I have to any of the listeners is what are you gonna do when Netflix cancels your show? Because it's gonna cancel. We're far past if it's when. It's when they cancel your show.
Even Stranger Things has a death date.
It does. So how are you gonna feel? What are you gonna do? What show would Netflix have to get rid of for you to cancel? I think is an interesting question.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I would like to know that.
What do you think the future of streaming services in general are? Are you planning on having additional streaming services besides like the top 3, or are you gonna pirate? Which
Which you probably don't want to admit to on the internet.
you probably don't want to admit to. I was about to say some stuff, but like yeah, let's not. Because it's like I know it's like
If you
illegal.
plan on pirating, give us a wink.
Yeah, give us a nod or like a nudge, you know. So yeah,
Or if you already pirate, give us 2 winks.
yeah, 2 weeks. Don't pirate our show, please.
Don't pirate. Well, I mean, it's not like we're charging anything for the
Yeah,
show
we're not
yet.
making anything yet, but like, don't. You know, what? Screw it, go for it. I don't care. It's just one person. Yeah, and what and then just how do you feel about?
How about if Netflix has already canceled your show? Who would you like to see pick it back up?
Yeah. Where would you like it to go?
If you thought it ended too early.
Yep. And I think that'll do it for now. We've talked about a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with our main topic. But so
anything last minute you want to add, Ted? No. All right. Well,
go watch One Day at a Time. That's Ted.
Yeah, help our boy Ted out here. Make sure that show gets more seasons.
Yep.
No, it will.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell so that way you get notified immediately when we post new episodes or new content in general. Because I mean, in the future we do have some pretty fun stuff that we have planned. Mm-hmm. But that's a ways down the line right now.
We're doing.
We're focusing on this right now.
We're doing streams now as well.
Oh yeah. We have done a couple of those.
Ted's done some streams. There are some more inconsistent.
We still need to do some streams together.
Yeah, we do. There's some less consistent uploads that we do, like there are nonsenses that happen, like almost like Ted's on it.
Yeah.
Like he gets the news, he's like, I'm going home.
Pretty much.
I need to leave.
Yeah.
I need to leave and go record something.
And of course, we need to, you and I, like stuff that we really are into. We should start probably doing some
I'm planning on
it.
I just need to I need to actually.
Like, since you guys don't really care to talk about Star Trek, that could be my outlet.
Yeah, there you go. Star Trek's you. Not that I don't like.
Because there is some Star Trek news that I do need to talk about. Because I know we do have some Star Trek fans down in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, the bell's the best way to stay up to date on all that stuff.
Yeah. You can always find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can email us at nerdsmakesense@yahoo.com.
Yep.
We may be adding a Gmail in there somewhere at some point. And then, of course, always, keep on our social media pages for the next shows that are coming out. We're going to be keeping on that and announcing those. We are definitely trying to get better with keeping you guys up to date on social media. But with that, until the next one, we love you all. We'll see you later.